Should I be paying student loans since they keep postponing payments? Now, this is a question that I get all the time now, and we're in a very unique time where student loan interest and student loan payments are being frozen. Now, before I dive into this deeper, do I want student loans to be forgiven? I would absolutely love it if student loans are forgiven. That's coming from a person who paid off their wife's student loans very early on. And what I've seen is a lot of people coming out and saying, I don't want student loans to be paid off because I paid my student loans. Am I going to get my money back? That type of thing. But here's the thing to understand. If student loans were paid off, a lot of people would have extra cash and affordability would go up. And what I want you guys to be able to do is to build wealth. So the more people that can build wealth and join this community is better for everyone. I would love it if student loans were paid off. But then there becomes a caveat. Do I think it's likely? Because this is a much more complicated thing than what people are saying. Because there's a bunch of private companies who have student loans. There's a bunch of federal companies who have student loans. And just magically paying them all off is not as easy as it sounds. So do I think it's going to happen in the short run? I don't know. I'm not going to give an opinion on do I think it's going to happen because I'm not going to try to predict something. You guys know I don't like predicting things. I don't like predictions. But would I rely on the government to bail me out with something? Absolutely not. Because relying on the government to bail you out is just a wish. It's not a strategy. And we want to strategically pay down debt when we pay down debt. We want to have a plan in place so that we can get rid of that debt as fast as we possibly can. So having that plan in place, you've got a couple of options here when student loan debt and interest is frozen. Because if the interest is frozen, you can start aggressively paying down those student loans and get rid of those loans much faster because there's no interest payment involved there. Or the second option is you don't have to aggressively pay them down and see what happens. Now, if I was personally the person in this situation, I would most likely start aggressively paying down those loans. Because what I know is I want to get those loans paid off so that I can start building wealth and get as many dollars as I possibly can into investments. The reason why for that is so that my money can start to grow. Because when you have those extra dollars to allow them to grow, you can build wealth that much faster and you can reach financial independence that much faster as well. Because say, for example, your student loan payment is $500, $600, $700 a month. Well, you know what $500 to $700 a month more can do for you by investing those dollars? It's a massive difference. I mean, it is millions of dollars over the course of 30 years once you get to that point. So there is a massive opportunity available here if you want to aggressively pay down these loans. Now, if you want to wait to see what happens, I completely get it, because I could be saying this and you start aggressively paying down your loans and then all of a sudden the loans are forgiven. And how are they going to handle that with people who just paid off a bunch of debt? I don't know. But that is why this is more complicated than a lot of people think. There's a lot of different companies. There's a lot of different entities involved here. And to just forgive all the student loans is very complicated. Would I love to see it happen? Absolutely. I want every single person in this world to be able to build wealth. And I think student loans hold back a lot of people from the millennial generation and younger because they have the most student loans. Student loans are at the highest they have ever been right now. Is that frustrating? Absolutely. Because the rising cost of education is causing that to happen because people can't afford it. So they have to go out and get loans so that they can afford their education. So in this situation, what I would personally do if I was in that situation, and I would pay down as fast as possible because then you're just paying down the principal instead of having these interest payments involved as well. And if you don't know what the principal is just the amount of loan that you actually took out. And in addition, when you're making those payments, there's interest, and that's how the banks make money, is on that interest. So you're making additional payments as well. So if you have that 0% interest rate, consider paying it down aggressively. Or if you want to wait to see what happens, you can absolutely do that. But in my personal opinion, what I would personally do is I would go after it, get after it, pay it down as fast as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching this money Q&A video. If you guys have any questions or want to leave a question with me, hit me up on Instagram or TikTok at Master Money Co. And if you like this video, here's another Q&A video that I know you're going to love.